the week of November 7th. We're talking about cigars, but we're not talking about cigars.
Like we said, second to none. Oh! Marshawn Lynch! Still on his feet!
Vince Carter with his first shot.
Messi!
Messi!
Well hit ball, there it goes! Bo is there! Yo, mama, run that wall! The Curry, way downtown, bang!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. It's EKB. Today, we got something brand new. This show is EKBSN, doing a sports show. We're talking about cigars, but we're not talking about cigars. What I'm smoking with you guys today is the Anejo 55 by Fuente. I want you to grab your good cigar, sit back, watch the show with me. Let's talk sports. I want you guys to be in the comments with me. I want you to talk your shit because I will be talking a lot of shit. I'm a basketball guy. I'm gonna let you guys know NBA is gonna be the major focus of this show. But I'll be talking NFL, I'll be talking tennis, wrestling, not that WWE stuff. Whatever comes up, Olympics, you name it, even baseball here and there. Soccer, if it's dope, if it's happening in the news, I'm gonna be talking about it, especially the NBA. For you Cowboy fans, for you Lakers fans, get ready to be pissed off because I am going to shit on your teams. If they're doing good, I'll say so. But we've seen this week from the NFL that we already know what the Cowboys do.
Prescott over the middle, it is intercepted!
Right? NBA, we've already seen what the Lakers do.
They are going to have another technical.
Yeah. I think one was delay a game and the other one was right on Melo for saying something.
There's another technical. This one's on Russell Westbrook.
So you want to get back in the game, don't lose your composure. You're going to let them right back in it.
We're going to talk about that. So let's start with the NFL. The one thing that I want to talk about with the NFL right now, I have not watched the NFL closely in about 4 years. The reason why is because of the way Colin Kaepernick was treated. I hated that bullshit, but that wasn't the only thing. I also hated the way Roger Goodell was running the NFL. I hated the way the players were getting treated. I hated the way that they aren't spending the money that's necessary to keep these guys from getting concussed and getting hurt. It just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Not even politics, but just more or less how the players are treated. And these dudes are star athletes, and you can't make billions of dollars as owners. And that's another thing with the owner and the coaching discrepancy with minorities in the league. Can't fuck with it. They will show love for Richie Incognito or Ray Rice, but somebody like Colin Kaepernick, Michael Vick, get fucked up in the game. You see what's going on with Aaron Rodgers right now. They sweeping that dude under the rug. It's just, NFL gets on my fucking nerves, man, but just with the way that they handle shit. It's just too lopsided. That's neither here nor there. Because of the show, I'm going to get back into it. I'm going to watch a little bit more just so I can talk about it with you guys. I love the athletes. I love the sport. I love the game. I love the skill set. Speaking of skill sets, let's segue into OBJ. The Cleveland Browns are actually looking like a team again as soon as this dude leaves. What does that tell you? No, he wasn't getting the ball when he was wide open. He should have gotten the ball in that particular case. But the problem is, football is a team sport. You got to play as a team. And if you're the best player, and if you're the leader, you got to play as the leader. Me personally, I think OBJ is extremely overrated. Yes, he did a one-hand catch with a couple fingers. Yes, he has some spectacular catches. But when it comes to bringing your team a win, where is he? Highly overrated. From every team that he's bounced to, what has he brought to the table? He had a chance to go to the Cleveland Browns and be the dude, be the star, be the leader, be mature, and he's never done it. All of his off-the-field shit, all of his shit on the field, and he's not producing enough to make anything worthwhile. If you are a wide receiver that's that good, you should be able to make your quarterback better. Just like if you have a Tom Brady or a Manning or Michael Vick or Aaron Rodgers, whomever, Russell Wilson, they're going to make the team better. They're going to make their receivers better. Look at what Megatron did, right? That's what OBJ should be doing. He's not that guy. So whatever team decides to pick him up in the coming weeks or the coming days, whatever happens, that team is going to have problems too, because he's going to take his baggage and he's going to bring that shit to whatever team. Dude is a problem. He's a cancer. He's overrated. I feel bad for whoever scoops this dude up. Will he have a couple more spectacular catches in the meantime? Yeah. But he ain't no fucking Jerry Rice. Never will be. He ain't that good. All right. Let's get on to the nitty-gritty NBA. First thing that I want to talk about, I want to give a big shout out to Dad Hat Daddy on Instagram. Big shout out to you, homie. It's my man Garrick sending in the questions, the Q&A. That means a lot, man. And, you know, we talked offline, so big shout out to what we were talking about earlier. But he also inspired the show. I was thinking about doing this show. Garrick hit me up out of the blue, just like, hey, man, who do you think is better, Paul Pierce or Melo? Yo, that's such a good fucking question. Now, some of you guys may be able to jump off the rooftop and just say, hey, Melo is better or Paul Pierce is better. I would expect most of y'all is either going to have a bias with their team or something like that. I don't have a bias with a team. I don't have a particular team. The closest thing that I have to a team is the Golden State Warriors. But I'm not from Cali. That being said, if you look at their careers, right, the highest of the high for skill set was Paul Pierce. When Paul Pierce was on and he was playing with the Celtics when he was in his prime, that motherfucker was the truth. He earned that nickname. That elbow jumper he had, the way he created space, the way he was able to get to the lane, hitting big shots when the big shots were necessary, Paul Pierce came through. And you can't front on him. He didn't have a lot of accolades outside of that. Definitely an all-star. He earned that. He wasn't, you know, the best defensive player, but he could D up on some of your players. He would get up on LeBron. He would play some of your best players and D up on them. You got to respect that. So let's juxtapose that with Carmelo Anthony. I fucking love Melo, man. One of my favorite things about Melo is his triple threat. That triple threat move that he got, it ain't too many that could stop that. When he would get low, especially in his prime, and he could either pull up or he could spin off of you. He could do just about whatever. He could start to dribble. He could take you and post you up. Like, his game was crazy as far as just being a scorer. But Melo, as a defensive player, I don't know. So that's what kind of makes the difference to me here. It's not too many players that could score like Melo scores. Whether you're talking about Melo in the Olympics, Melo in the for the Denver Nuggets, Melo for the Knicks. Scoring, he's just a beast. Can't front on that. So how do you compare those two dudes? Like, how do you pick which one is better? What are you going to talk about? Rings? And that's what me and Garrick was talking about. So we talk about rings here. To me, rings are a team accomplishment. That takes a team in order to get a ring. The only people I give exceptions to that rule would be the GOAT, Michael Jordan, the supreme basketball player with Bill Russell, 11 rings, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And the reason why I give them an exception because they facilitated those particular rings. They literally carried their team to those rings. You want to debate me on that? Michael Jordan, three-peat. He leaves, 2 years without a ring. Come back, three-peat. Come on, man. You can't front on that. So with Paul Pierce, I can't give him the edge with that because he won a ring, but without the big three, had to take a windbreak. But without the original big three, there ain't no ring for Paul Pierce. He chased the ring for a long time. So another thing that Melo has on top of him is longevity. Here's the thing that I love about Melo, is the dude had to grow up. Because I was pissed at Melo for a while, man. I want to say that because let me kind of compare him to Bubba Chuck. I'm from VA, North Carolina. I grew up watching Bubba Chuck. I got family that, was around him in Stewart Gardens growing up, Bethel High School, that whole nine. But when Bubba Chuck started to lose his skill set a little bit and he became a difficult player, shortly after he went to Denver playing with Melo, and then he got traded again, Chuck didn't want to come off the bench. Now, when we mention that, we all know what Melo said, right?
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
I clown Melo for that. I thought Melo was done. I thought Westbrook was done. I had no respect for them dudes. I didn't think they were going to be able to come back. But Melo being able to step up and come off the bench and play the way he's playing off the bench, I can't do nothing but take my hat off to that brother for that. Melo's still hooping. Hoodie Melo is back. And that's one thing I definitely wanted to talk about on the show. It's Hoodie Melo. See, the thing with Hoodie Melo right now, if you're watching him with the Lakers, he is the only good pickup that they had in this offseason. Melo is spotting up for his three. He's getting buckets down on the base. His mid-range game is efficient, and he's hitting big shots for the team when necessary. That's huge. So I might have to give the edge to Melo. Now let's segue. We're talking Melo. Let's talk about the Lakers. The Lakers are a bunch of scrubs. Good players, but good players don't make you a good team. We'll get more into that in just a moment. Problem right now is leadership with the Lakers. LeBron isn't a great leader. I will say it. I'm not a LeBron fan. I know he has a skill set. We'll get into my beef with LeBron at another time. But just looking at the Lakers as a whole, when they want to play defense, they could be a deadly defensive team. But their ego always seems to get in the way. And a major problem that they also have with that is Anthony Davis. I love Anthony Davis. I love his skill set. I mean, it's not too many big men other than Kevin Garnett and Kevin Durant that could hold a candle to what Anthony Davis does, unless you're going back to Hakeem the Dream or Tim Duncan, maybe Dirk Nowitzki. You got to go back years, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, to have anybody anywhere close to that kind of skill. But every time this dude falls down, I think he's going to be back in street clothes. You can't be a player that's not durable with this team. The best ability is availability. Same thing with LeBron right now. I don't think the, human growth hormone, PEDs, is helping LeBron with his age. After a while, hey man, Father Time is undefeated. So that's those two dudes. Russell Westbrook. The dude cannot make smart plays to save his life, man. He knows how to pass. He's athletic, but he's losing a step with that athleticism. Having 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 turnovers a game, it's not going to cut it. You need a floor general. They got Rondo, but Rondo's getting up there in age, and he's still a hothead. He's still going to make decisions where he's going to mess up for the team. He just did it this week. The Lakers are in trouble. They're not going far this year because they're going to melt down like they did in the past couple years. They don't have the bubble to save them this time. Next on the docket, let's talk about Nikola Jokic. Now, this is a big man that I love his game. It's like taking Arvydas Sabonis and mixing that with a little bit of Dirk and a little bit of Hakeem. It's big words right there. Love the way the dude was playing. But, of course, we can't talk about Jokic right now without talking about the incident with Marquis Morris. Or was it Markieff? I think it was Marquis Morris. That wasn't Jokic's fault, man. And I feel like Morris got whatever he deserved for that. I mean, you can't do that and try to give somebody a shoulder shiver or forearm shiver under their ribs, making the pass just because you get beat and you got blocked, and then get mad when you get knocked over. He deserved that shit, and he gonna sit there and roll on the ground and milk that shit. That's the most cornball, weak-minded shit that I've seen in a long time. That's some corny shit. I'm not here for that, man. So all respect and props to the reigning MVP, Nikola Jokic. I mean, that dude is a baller. He's trying to pull the Nuggets together. They're starting to look good again. That's leadership right there. I fuck with it. I can't even call him a hothead for that one, man. Plus, why would you do that to a Serbian? What the fuck is wrong with you, Morris? Like, that's the dumbest shit in the world. You was gonna get balled up on that fucking court, man. It ain't no hold me back shit with Jokic. You see the way that man went down to the bench and just sat there, ain't crack a smile on some mafioso type shit? That's not a dude you want to fight, bro. You don't want them problems. That man ain't scared of shit. Speaking of MVPs, MVP race. Who do we think is going to win the MVP this year? For me personally, I got two brothers that's in mind. It's going to be Kevin Durant or Steph Curry. Just the way they balling this year, the way they're controlling the team. The Nets look terrible right now, especially with Harden not being able to get them bullshit-ass fouls that he's been getting for however many years.
Give me that arm. Oh, Ralph. Nope. Oh.
So Kevin Durant, every game, he's balling, controlling the floor, showing mid-range, showing short range, 3-ball, playing D, whatever he's doing it on the floor. You got to respect that man. And it's going to be hard to top him for MVP this year. Steph Curry, 50 points in 35 minutes on 50% shooting, 74% true shooting averages. That's fucking nuts, B. Like, how do you do that? How? That's damn near impossible. That's literally NBA 2K video game shit. I can't even do that on 2K. However, there is a dark horse. The dark horse on this one is DeMar DeRozan. Shout out to you, Garrick, man. I know you're a Chicago boy. Y'all got a squad this year, man. I love what Chicago is doing. I love to see what Zach LaVine is doing. I like what Caruso is doing as far as being a two-way player, being the Dennis Rodman for the team. Dude is all around. Plus, he's super athletic. But DeMar DeRozan is going for that MVP, and I like that fight. He was balling when he was with the Spurs, but a lot of people weren't paying attention to that. And he kind of had his heart broken a little bit with the way that Toronto treated him. But the boy found a home, and he's hooping right now. He is my dark horse. If it's not KD, and if it's not Steph, it's going to be DeMar DeRozan. Y'all go ahead and mark this down. Put it on your calendar right now. Last but not least, man, the next thing that I want to talk about with the NBA is the new up-and-coming star. The next person that's going to be Steph Curry or Giannis Antetokounmpo. He could actually be in that list, too, for MVPs, but he just got one. I don't think they're going to do that for him, right? He just got two, rather. Pardon me. I don't think they're going to give it to him. But the boy today, while I'm recording this, just dropped, 21 and 10 or something like that? 31 and 10 or something like that? Something crazy. It might have been 19. I don't know. The boy was balling his ass off. Can't stop him. Person that I want to talk about right now, the new and up-and-comer, is Ja Morant. Did you see what he did last night? Between the dunk to help them get the lead, and then that crazy step back three. Then they're going to take him into OT and ball out in OT. The boy is a star. And what makes him so good, man, what makes him a star is not just the fact that he's kind of like Russell Westbrook and a little bit like Allen Iverson. This dude has that same kind of killer instinct with that skill set, and being this young as an athletic point guard and then taking it up and turning it up a notch. He ain't scared of Steph. He ain't scared of Trae Young. He ain't scared of KD. It ain't nobody on that court that's going to make him nervous. You can put A.B. Bradley on him. You can put Paul George on him. You can put some of your best defenders on him, and the boy's going to hoop, man. I got love for that. Anyway, I'm going to sit back, enjoy the rest of this 55. You guys keep staying tuned. This is EKBSN, the new sports show. I'm just going to shoot the shit with you guys. Thank you for watching the show. If you guys like this, let me know in the comments. Smack that like button if this is the type of show you guys want to see. Got everything else right here that you guys want to watch. Please subscribe to the show. Pass it around to your friends. Take a look at Mount Fuji right there, man. How dope is that? Peace. But we'll get into my beef with LeBron God damn.